All right. Um, Another big difference in both of our cultures is that, the way I was brought up is, no matter what, you give everything you have to your family, and um, that's just the way I was brought up. Like, if, for example, like the simplest example was growing up, my brother would always like get nice stuff, and then when I needed something to wear, he would always give me his nice clothes, or he'd always, find ways to help me out. That's just how it's always. That's the same way like when I am how I am to my brothers or my niece and nephews. Like, if I've got something, that means we all got it. Just that's something so simple. But like, so she gets super mad when I give my stuff away. Like, yeah, I get it, but at the same time, sometimes it's just like, it really doesn't matter, just because it could be something materialistic that in the end won't matter, but as long as everyone else has it and is enjoying it, then that makes me happy. So what's your take on that?
I mean, we've talked about it, and I think we've come with a happy medium. But to me, at first hearing that, it makes me think like, oh, like they're all selfish and lazy. Like, they won't work for what they want. They'll just like look for like the most successful person and try to like take. But to him, his family gave him everything, even though they didn't have a whole lot. And so obviously that means a ton. I just think it's better to like put them on the right path, like help them be able to achieve those own things for themselves, because it will mean a lot more. Because when you work for something, it is a lot more important to you. Whatever it is, you'll take care of it. You'll just appreciate it more because you know all that hard work rather than things just being given to you. But at the same time, I've been given everything, usually, like growing up. I don't know. It's a hard one.
But isn't the reason why you think that way, isn't it because your dad worked super hard though, right, to get everything he wanted?
Yes.
So you kind of.
My dad was a super hard worker. I mean, but I guess, I don't know. It's just different because he had like 3 kids and your family had 6. And so, and my dad was like older when he met my mom, so he already like had his education and everything. When your family, they like started having babies in college and didn't get to finish. And so it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, so in my family, both my parents don't have. They have like 1 year. I think my mom finished like 3 years of college. My dad finished 2 years. And then they just started having babies, and so they pretty much literally came straight from a third world country to the United States. Just hoping that their kids could have better lives. And so I'm just, the way I'm raised is that, like, even when, well, in college, like, I'm on scholarship, and I would get a scholarship check, and even if they would ask me for money, I'd still give them money, even though my scholarship check isn't even that much for me to survive on, like, financially. But if they were to ask, I'd give them, whatever. Like, just recently, my parents needed my truck that I got for college, and that's my baby. But I still gave it to them just because they needed it, because my sister's car broke down and she needed to take her kids around. And so I gave them the car. They've been using it for a while, and I was expecting to get it back, but they still didn't fix their car. And so moral of the story is that I gave them the car and they freaking totaled the car. But that's just, to me, like, I it matters to me, but I'm just glad that my nieces and nephews were able to get around, and they were able to utilize it, and they were able to benefit from it. Because yeah, it would have been nice for my fiance and I to have the car, but I'm sure they needed it a lot more than I did. So those are just some examples of, I guess, that culture difference.
Yeah, but I think that doesn't benefit anyone. Like, he gave him something, and like that's hard already to just let someone have something that you need often, because it made our life harder, and then we never got it back. Like, I just don't know. We'll disagree about it, and I think there's a better way to do it than to completely give like all that you have. You should give some to help them a little bit, and like try to give them, like, if you're able to kind of get successful in life, I think you should give them good advice, like good connections and stuff like that, because if like no one's like getting anywhere, no one's winning. But I don't know.